What's up, y'all, and welcome back to Healing Conversations with Cameron Nicole. Today's guest is Autumn Scott. She is a traveling chef as well as a social media influencer. But before we get into the conversation with Autumn, we have a few church announcements to take care of, okay? So this episode is sponsored by Level Up Studio, Wilson's marketing firm, and The Wig Cave. You will learn more about them later. But right now, I am interested in talking to my girl. So you all know that this season on Healing Conversation, we are talking about growing through grief. And my girl has a story, and I'm interested in hearing it in detail because I only see what I see on social media and what we talk about when she come get her hair done. So Autumn, tell us, who are you? Who is Autumn? Like, what are your values at the core? What are your morals? Tell us about you.
Ooh, that's a good question. Autumn is a child of God first. Let me put that out there.
Amen.
And after that, immediately after, she's the realest on your team. After that, she's resilient and perseverant. And she goes from doing anything for the people that she cares for down to doing things for people that she's never met. She's a child of God and she tries to do anything to serve Him. And that's how I live my life now.
Oh, that is beautiful. Who did you learn that from?
Oh, girl, Loretta, my
Mm,
grandma.
mm. I knew it had to come from somewhere. Because you're
Yes,
young.
I
And I
am.
know in this generation, to honor God and acknowledge Him like you just did is rare. So I knew you had to learn it from somewhere in your roots.
Yes. That's actually how I became Chef AC. That's how I live my life. My grandmother and my great grandmother, I was blessed to have them in my life. And she passed at 99. So
Wow.
having her in my life, she was definitely the foundation that definitely put us in front of God every Sunday, even Saturday night. And she put in our heads, all of us, instilled everything in us. God is first over everything.
Mm.
And I didn't realize what that meant until about a year ago. And so I gave my life to God, and now He's been working through me. So,
That's beautiful. I did just hear you say that's how you became Chef AC. So tell me a little more about how this journey started for you as a chef.
um, ooh. So in 2020, I graduated from Clemson University with a bio degree. And in the middle of that, that was the midst of COVID. So that really put a hindrance on me getting a job in a regular field. And so I was still working in college as a leasing consultant. And once I graduated and figured everything out, I ended up going into grad school for medical devices and pharmaceuticals. Once I got to that point, I thought I was going to go into that field, but it wasn't matching up with my morals, and I still decided to go against the grain and go with it, but God pulled me in a way, in a very tragic way. I ended up supposedly getting a job through medical devices, and that position actually scammed me.
Mm.
So from there, I lost everything and I had to regroup. But the only thing that really pulled me back to the kitchen was the fact that I had nothing else to do. I was in the middle of COVID and I had to move back from where I live. I lived in Greenville. And so from there, I just went straight into something that I loved. And I tried it out. The first thing I did was do a pop up shop in both of my hometowns, Lancaster, South Carolina, and Florence, South Carolina. And I made more money there than I did the entire time of me working as a lease consultant.
Wow.
And so I was like, yeah, I can really do it from here. And I just was pulled back to my roots from cooking as a child with my grandmothers in the kitchen, like the old people. Like, literally, I did not like going outside. Actually hated it, for sure. I was not that child. So I ended up staying inside with my grandmother. She said in or out. I chose in.
Okay.
And and so from there, I learned everything from her. She taught me the ins and outs, the foundation of cooking. And once I got into college, you know, you kind of steer away from your what you want to do
Mm-hmm.
instead for what you need to do. At the point I was in college, I thought it was something I needed to do, which was go into the medical field, which was be a neonatologist, which if you don't know what that is, that's the doctors that deliver babies from the NICU and all that nest. So from there, I just decided, I want to collab my biology degree with cooking. And food is science anyway, so it kind of just worked hand in hand. And from there, I combined my love for cooking and biology and created my journey as a chef. And so,
That is beautiful.
thank you.
I'm mind blown. I didn't think about food as a science, but you're right because people have allergies and stuff,
Yes.
and you need to know what to.
Yes.
Oh wow, lets you know I don't cook that much. Well, I'm not that much of a cook. Do you have classes?
I do.
Oh.
I do those classes. Couple classes too.
I have to get with you on that. I keep hearing you reference your grandmother, and I know you personally, so I know that you lost her, and I know right after you lost her, you lost your favorite aunt.
Yes.
Right after you lost your favorite aunt and your grandmother, you lost your hairstylist, which was
Yes.
your close friend.
Yes.
And right after that, you lost your unborn.
Mm-hmm.
And then the year after that, you lost your soulmate.
Yes.
Great God Almighty. Like, I just want to clap for you
Oh,
for just being able to sit here and still smile.
thank you.
And, oh, yeah, let's, oh, man. Okay, let's talk. Tell us, how did those losses affect you?
Ooh, okay. So I didn't really deal with grief. To start off with, my grandmother, actually all the women in my life, they are very strong-willed. So it's more so like, why are you crying? And so I went through that, and I had to realize, I didn't realize this till probably a few months ago, that it is okay to cry. It's okay not to be okay. But going through that, it stalled me from really feeling what I should have felt years ago. And when my grandmother passed, I just put on the shield and I just went straight back to work. And it was when I first started my business. And so she inspired me to go straight into it. If you got grandma's kudos, then you're good to go. And so once I knew that she liked my food without her in the kitchen, I was like, okay, let me try this out. And so after that, my aunt was super, super encouraging. And we used to fuss in the kitchen all the time. She used to try to correct me, but then she started using my recipes. So from there, it was just like, okay, I'm really like that in the kitchen. And so I used both of them to catapult me into taking my business serious. And so when I lost my close friend and my hairstylist, that really did surprise me. So it took a lot for me to go back to work, but I just really pushed everything to the back and just kept pushing because that's the last thing we talked about. So I wanted to put everything into something that honored them. And so that's how I moved with her. And then with my unborn, I worked the whole time. Literally. I don't think I stopped at all. And I was super private with it. And it just pushed me into being so dedicated to work. And it was feeling like I was idolizing work. And so God was pulling me back from it. And when I lost my soulmate, he sat me down. That was when everything kind of pushed to the front. And from there, I had no choice but to sit down. I really did sit down from work. I just got back into it. And for a second, I didn't know how to do anything. It was very, very intense for me to go through it. And I decided to just go forth. We talked about everything under the sun. And the biggest thing that inspired him was me being independent. And being who I am and not taking no for an answer. Even if it is a no, it's a no for me. But I'm going to still go with everything that I have. It's just a not yet, basically. And so I took everything that I learned with him and decided to honor him in the same way. So all 5 of them are honored through everything that I do.
Mm, that's beautiful. You said also God set you down. And when God set you down, is that when you got saved?
Yeah, well, actually, I was already scheduled to get saved before he passed.
Oh.
And he passed the day before. I was on a fast, and I finished my fast the day before. And he passed the next day. And so I was like, oh, okay, what is this? So I decided, I'm going to still go through it. There's nothing I can do other than go for it with God. I didn't have no other choice. If I decide to sit down and sit in it, it's still going to hurt. So going forward with God, it was something where I feel like it was going to fulfill me more and fill me up with his presence rather than going to something where I just decided back in the day I would have just been super mad at the world.
Mm-hmm.
But because me and him both were into God, and we really did have adversity against us, and he was somebody that really went into life with a chip on his shoulder, but he just didn't let nobody see him sweat. We both were like that. And I just knew for a fact he got baptized before I did. And so that was just like, go ahead. There's no reason not to. And so once I decided to go ahead with it, I just went, and not saying it makes everything easier, because it didn't, but it was the best decision I made for it. So after that, he sat me down for real. Like, you're not doing anything. And I tried to do everything in my own will, trying to push forward, and he was like, no. Your business is going to slow down so you can sit down. And I was in a place where I could do that. And so that's a blessing in itself. And I had a lot of support that I didn't realize. So I was there for everybody else, even though they were pouring into me.
You sound selfless.
I try to be.
That's what it sounds like. Listen, I'm trying not to cry. Like, I'm truly inspired. Like, in my adult life, I have not experienced as many losses as to death. I've only experienced 2. So I can't imagine. Like I really would take my wig off to you. You know, they say take it off. I take my wig off to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I applaud you, man. I applaud you. And I see you on social media. I see you grinding, and I see where you've been doing a series of getting back to you.
Yes.
Tell me about that. What does that look like, getting back to Autumn after God has sat you down and basically told you, like, look.
Yeah, he pulled the seat from under me. And I started the series Glutes with Growing with Grief, or Going Through Grief, because I was not only going through grief of just death, I had friendships, and spiritual warfare is a real thing. And they were trying to attack me left and right. And so I lost a lot of weight, and it was involuntary, let me say that. And so I couldn't get myself back together. I did not want to go to the gym, even though I tried. And this time around, that was the only thing that really pushed me to get up every day. Me and my soulmate definitely worked out all the time. He was a football player, so he got me out of the house all the time. And I was always active anyway. And so that was one thing to pull me back into getting closer to who I used to be. And I never like to say who I used to be, because I don't want to be that person again. I always like to grow for it. But I was always in the gym. Everybody knew I was that person that was disciplined. And so back then I was losing weight. This time I had to gain weight. And so that was harder, way harder. And so I had to learn how to do that, learn myself over again, and go in the gym even though I wanted to sit in the bed and cry. And I pushed myself through the gym. I would cry during the workouts, no matter what song came on. And I kid you not, I would have doves fly up to the gym window and just sit there while I'm working out. So it was giving me more of a a warming sense of I'm doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kept going with it, and then people started DMing me, asking me about my workout plans, and God gave me a dream randomly and was just like, you're about to start talking about this, and you're going to include it with working out, and this is your go-to. And I didn't think people were watching it at all. But I started getting people asking me to continue to do it, and they're like, when is your next video? I'm like, oh, y'all actually watching me. So I'm like, yeah, it's kind of embarrassing because I'm like, I am an influencer, I should be used to it, but that's the chef side. So now I'm in my personal, so it's a little bit different. And so I just started going with it, and every week somebody's like, are you posting this week? So they keep me going, even though I'm trying to keep them going. So
What I've learned while growing through grief, because as you said, grief is, it's bigger than just losing someone to death. Like, you go through losing relationships, um, you go through anything that you lose that's valuable to you, that puts you in a state of grief.
yes.
And one thing I've learned is God will hold you accountable in some way. And what I'm realizing with people like you and myself who are influencers, where people are looking up to us, God assigns us new people that are intentional about letting us know that they're watching us, and that gives us that push to keep pushing forward
Yes.
through. And it's like, because without people letting you know, like, you're inspiring me to push through, and that's what we're here for.
Yes.
We are here to allow our lives to be testimonies for other people to get through their situations.
Today's episode of Healing Conversations is brought to you by Level Up Studios, bringing visions to life from the lens, and by The Wig Cave, home of the glueless wigs, offering ready-to-wear wigs, custom wigs, and wig maintenance, and by Wilson's Marketing Firm. We are a marketing agency dedicated to helping brands grow, connect, and thrive in an ever-evolving digital landscape. We specialize in strategic marketing solutions that combine creativity with data-driven insights to deliver measurable results. Whether you're a startup looking to build a bold brand presence or an established company seeking to refresh your strategy, our team of marketing experts, designers, and digital specialists works collaboratively to craft tailored campaigns that engage your audience and elevate your business.
Speaking of grief and growing, you've also relocated.
I have.
So you also are grieving in a form of leaving everything behind, like for real, leaving
Yes.
everything behind. You moved on the other side of the country. Like, tell me about that.
So that was all God's doing too. If it was up to me, I would have just stayed in Charlotte. I built my name here, so it was like, why am I leaving? And he was like, because I said so. So I had to take it to the chin, and I asked God, where am I going? And I thought it was a joke because that is pretty far to go to Texas. And I've lived away from my parents. I've gone to college. I was 4 hours away. And I always did want to go far. I did. But I didn't know about that far. And so I asked God, if you're for real, like for real, then I'm going to need some signs for you to tell me. And every sign, absolutely every sign that I asked for, he gave me. And I saw this girl on TikTok. I think her name is Christian Bay. And it was a couple of years ago, and she made a TikTok about making a password with God. And I was like, that's really interesting. I'm going to do that. If you for real, and I already know you're real, but if you for real about me going, that's two different things. So the first thing that I asked for was for him to show me where I was going. And I just kept seeing Dallas everywhere. I'm like, Dallas is not bad. It's pretty nice out there. Never been. And he told me, you'll be in a different position in the next 9 months. I was like, okay. And I asked him, I need a sign. So I asked for a sign of a purple moving truck. I've never seen a purple moving truck a day in my life.
Oh, you was trying, God.
Yeah, I really for real. And he showed me a purple moving truck. I was at my sister's house, and I woke up like maybe 2 weeks later, and there was a purple moving truck with a hand, like a giant hand on it, as if like you're going, here you go, and the person was moving out of their apartment.
Wow.
And I took a picture of it, and I said, I know this is your side. Like, I asked for this, but I might need another one.
That ain't enough. Okay.
Because I'm like, where am I going? And so my client at the time, he asked me, do you want to go to Dallas? And I said, okay. Like, you're for real about this. So I decided to keep going forward. And I asked him for like 7 signs after that. And I promise you, I took a trip to New York with my family, and every sign that I asked for ahead of time, they were all there on the same day. And I knew that I had to leave soon. I just didn't tell anybody. So this entire time of me moving, well, trying to move, I told everybody, like, hey, I'm just going to take a solo trip. God said, if you're going to move, I had to be like Abraham. That's what he compared me to. He moved Abraham with a lot of uncertainty, and he spoke that. I opened the Bible one day, and it was the story of Abraham. I was like, oh, okay. So now you're not about to tell me about everything that I got to do. So I decided to go forth, and I went April 1st of last year to test out if I liked Dallas. And when I first got there, I found everywhere that I loved, and I went back again, and I went back again. He said, no, not yet. I was trying to move ahead of his time. And he told me, I thought he said, you're going to move for 9 months. So I'll be in Dallas for 9 months, but he said, you're going to move in 9 months. And that was me, because I was ready to move. And so once I decided to go ahead and go forth and patiently wait and fast, I actually got the answer that I needed, not that I wanted. And I officially moved at the end of last year, and everything worked out down to the place where I decided to live. Everything was just in his alignment. And I decided to live by his plan and not mine, because it's a lot better that way. It's a lot more rewarding in the long run, not necessarily when you're in the midst of it. But that's how I ended up there. And once I got there, he answered all my questions, and now I'm flourishing in both places.
That is beautiful. I do see you fly back and hey,
Yes.
man. Listen, if you don't know the Lord, I highly recommend knowing God. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. I don't know what else to say. Like, did you hear her? Like, literally, a lot of women question and say, how do I talk to God? How do I know? Listen, talk to him like he your homeboy.
Yes.
You see how many times she had to try the Lord? Like, can you show me? And he did. And that's one thing about God. I'm just really mind blown. You're not even 30 yet.
No, I'm 27.
Wow. I am mind blown. I am inspired because, yeah, God have to. I'll be like, God, pick up this building. You want me to move all the way over there? Pick up this building and show me. That's what you. Oh man, I'm really inspired, Otto. I really am inspired. What would you say to 17-year-old Autumn?
Ooh, girl, you moved across the country. You did not think you was going to be there. Actually, 17-year-old Autumn thought she was going to be a neonatologist. That's literally what I went into school for. My siblings and I, we were all born premature. We were the only siblings, well, the only set of siblings that was born in Florence, South Carolina, and we all survived. That's highly unlikely when there's a child born at 6, 7, and 8 months. And so I felt like that was my purpose. And I'm just here to tell her, you did your thing. Because you would have gave up a long time ago. And 17-year-old Autumn, she was a people pleaser, I will say that. And so I would tell her, you did good. You didn't have to do you didn't have to confine to other people's opinions to you, and you were beautiful the way you were. And sometimes life throws curveballs so you can straighten up. And the way that I lived life then, you don't really know yourself. You think you know yourself when you're 17. But you went through heartbreak when you were 17, and you went to college thinking, it would have been a completely different way. I didn't think I was going to go to college and find a soulmate. That's something, and not even loving basketball, that's a terrible example.
Okay.
But
I get love.
Yeah.
I get the young love. Okay, I got you.
Thought it was going to be completely different. I went into college ready to have fun and go to school and just leave and become a doctor. But life really did throw me some curveballs. I would have never thought. I walked into Moonlight Breakfast looking like a bum, and we just became friends ever since. And so 17-year-old Autumn is strong. She really is. She went through college. My mom had cancer when I first went to college, and I stayed home with her a lot. Well, went to her appointments a lot. And I tried to be super encouraging. I didn't want to make anybody else feel uncomfortable. And 17-year-old Autumn looks like she was just there and trying to figure out life. And I held in a lot. And so now she's created me to be more open because of all the stuff I took for granted when I was 17. So I'm really proud of her, though.
I'm proud of her. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I am. I do have a question. What is your favorite event to cater?
My favorite event to cater are my luxury private dining events and brunch. Those two really hit the rocks for me. All of the ingredients that go into everything, I'm able to show my clients more, and they come into the kitchen. I do allow them to be in the kitchen sometimes, and that is something that's super intimate. And I learn about them, they learn about me, and it's more of a engaging experience. And even though they think I'm serving them, they're really serving me. I love to just give back in a way. And when I'm in the kitchen, it does feel like a kitchen studio / art studio. I'm just in there in my own zone. And being in luxury private dining allows me to do that. It gives me more creativity. And I will say my favorite are the one-on-ones. They are super intimate, and I just learn a lot. And they test me more than anything, for sure. But I do love my catering events, too. They're just not as engaging. It's like kind of just a drop off here. There you go. Glad you love the food.
That's amazing. You found your niche in cooking.
Yes.
I do have another question. I know like cooking is your thing, but what do you feel like your purpose is here on earth?
Ooh, my purpose here on earth, I feel like my story is meant to be told. And that is my purpose. I feel like everything that I've gone through, it helps other people. Before I used to block all that out. I didn't want people to hear my voice. And now I'm not afraid to do that. It's kind of like God just ripped off the veil, like, here you go. This is who you are. And my purpose has been, I thought it was to serve food. I really did. But it's also healing through food. I have a lot of clients that come back to me, and they love to hear about my story. They love to read about me, and it inspires them. But that's healing on the spiritual side and the mental side. But I also love to incorporate healing through food science. So my grandmother loved to cook, and soul food cooking, it's kind of unhealthy. So
you have a healthy way to make it.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Y'all ever heard of healthy soul food? Get it out.
It is tea, I will say.
Would you consider like writing a cookbook?
Yes, I've been asked that a
You
lot.
should.
I've been asked that probably since I started cooking. And
You
so
should.
that's something I'm looking into for sure.
Okay. What are you working on now with your business?
Expanding in Dallas. I've only been there for a few months, so it's been pretty good since I've been there. But I am a homebody, so I'm trying to get out more and expand there. But I feel like it's also me expanding on my culinary curves journey. That's I am the chef in the dress. I forgot to say that.
You are.
So that is also expanding soon, and I've been working on that. And hopefully, that is what pulls everybody else in. That also serves a lot of women in our community. So I didn't think me in the chef dress would be interesting to estheticians that would love to wear the dress too. So that's something that I've been taking into account as well.
That's beautiful. That
Thank you.
is beautiful. Autumn, I am so appreciative of you being transparent. Um, I'm just real. I'm really mind blown at your love for God. Like I really am. It's inspiring. How often do you spend time with God?
Every day. If it's not in the morning, I don't feel right. So
Mm,
the first thing I do, it's literally probably an hour to 2 hours at minimum. And I will say I'm blessed because a lot of people don't have schedules where they can do that. They
mm-hmm.
feel rushed. And God has put me in a place where either you sit out to do this or you sit out to do this. So
Mm,
um, at first it was hard, but it got easier over time. I used to be mad at God a lot, or not mad, but questioning. So when I decided, I'm gonna say yes to you. I don't know how this is gonna look, and once I decided to say yes, I went into it every day, and that was probably 2 or 3 years ago. And I didn't care where I was. My siblings could be sitting there talking to me like till I'm blue in the face, and I would ignore them until I finish. And I just made it a part of my schedule to put him first, and from there, no matter what I go through, you'll always stay first. So that's how I
mm.
move now.
There's no other way.
Nope.
No other way. No other way. I thank God for keeping you. I thank God for being a mind regulator. And I really thank God for your courage and your strength. It's unmatched.
It's him. When I did go through when my soulmate passed, my best friend at the time, well, she's still my best friend, but at that time, she prayed a prayer and she said, God be her strength, because she knew I didn't have it at all. I was on the floor crying, sliding down the wall. And that stood out to me from that point on. And I didn't know how I was going to find the strength to even get back to work or anything. So I move on his strength. That's it for every day, even till now. So it's all him.
That's beautiful. If you guys are interested in following Autumn and getting to know her more beyond this conversation, provide them with your information, Autumn.
My Instagram is the soul of AC. AC as in the cool air conditioning. And, and my website is Taste of the Soul. And you'll find all of my stories there. And you'll also have my contact information if you ever want to book.
Her content is A1. You'll be inspired. So you make sure you follow her, check her out, show her some love, let her know that you heard her here on Healing Conversations. And get to know Autumn a little more. I thank y'all so much for tuning in on another conversation. Stay tuned and come back for the next one.